Hey, 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 good evening, everybody. How are you today? Yay! That everyone's like in their own room saying that. Yay! Well, I am super excited to connect with you, and I will just wait a few minutes because it's not even 9 o'clock yet, Eastern time. 6 o'clock Pacific. So if you know anybody who you want to make sure they are on the Disney Dream Leadership Retreat Vision Recap Power Hour, like this is going to be like whole nother level, then text them right now. You got a minute. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay. Yes. I've got host to posts like dinging me back right now. You know how that goes. Everybody's loving the host to post game right now. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I've got all my cruise friends in the chat. I'm going to be hanging out there, like seeing that. If you guys need me, certainly like let me know. We've got a list of people that were on with us that are going to share, and I'm just going to jump right in. So my name is Denise Walsh. I have been a distributor with It Works for almost 12 years. 12 years. 12 years. It sounds like a really long time. Yeah. I was 26 years old when I first got started. I was a clinical psychologist prior to this. And as everybody who's probably on this can agree, like It Works found me. It's certainly not something I expected to even be a part of, let alone be successful at. And within about 3 years, my husband and I were both able to quit our full-time jobs. And we've been full-time for over 9 years in this company, like almost a decade of only living off of It Works income. And because I know what we have our hands on, my family has seen crazy success, our teams have seen crazy success. I am like uber passionate about sharing that with everybody, as I'm sure a lot of you are too. And so my friend and I, Carla, who is a sideline sister, grew up. I guess we like grew up in the business together. We started within a month of each other. Here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, are always thinking about how we can work together. I don't know about you, but sidelines are life, and just building the community of like-minded, fun, positive, encouraging people is so, so important. And so we did that. We grew a community here in Grand Rapids along with our sponsor, Cami, and we felt connected. And we always wanted to work together. So at the beginning of our business, we did expos together, parties together, 1T1 missions together. And then we thought, what if we do a leadership retreat together? And so what you're going to hear about today is the second annual Disney Dream Leadership Retreat. And this is a cruise, a 4-day, 3-night cruise on the Disney Dream. And yes, it is decorated for Christmas, which takes it to a whole nother level. And we invited triples and above. And so I just mentioned the connection of our community and sideline sisters because those of you, like if your leader said yes to this cruise, like they're longing to create that type of community in your team. The people that said yes to this cruise are top-notch leaders who are hungry themselves and hungry to duplicate positive, encouraging community within their organization. And so, man, I just was so excited and proud of all of the leaders that stepped up to spend 4 days learning and growing and pouring into themselves so that way they could go back to you, their team, their why, and kind of duplicate that. So the vision of the retreat is to help those who embark on this trip leave transformed. And what I mean by that is to leave with a clear and passionate vision of what they want their team, their business, and their life to look like. If you haven't heard me say this before, I'll say it again. Your personal vision is when you have a picture of your future that produces passion. So you can't wait to get out of bed in the morning and go make things happen because you know where you're going. And sometimes when we're on this journey, whether it's entrepreneurship, whether it's any sort of goal, motherhood, or running a marathon or a 5K or whatever, like any goal you set for yourself, there's a couple things that have to happen. First, you kind of get started and you're in the honeymoon phase and you're like, woohoo, I'm new. This is going to be great. And you're like off and running. And then you have this space here that's called the journey. The journey is when we have our first funk. The journey is when people say no. The journey is when the finish line seems a little bit far away and you're not even quite sure if and how you're ever going to get there. And so what a lot of people do is when the journey starts to get hard or feel long, which is just part of life, we'll get to that later, a couple of things can happen. You can either skip out and say, this just isn't for me. Or you can shrink back to where you were before, even if you don't like it, because it's comfortable. And we have got to take a step outside of our normal everyday routine to create spaces for ourselves to grow, to create to create spaces for themselves to grow, to learn, and to like push through the journey and keep your vision alive. So there's two ways that we talked about it on the cruise. Number one, when your vision is so strong, it kind of pulls you through the hard stuff. You know what I mean? When your personal vision, like you know where you're going and no is not an answer, you kind of have those professional ignorer syndrome where you're like, I'm ambassador already. So if you don't agree, like get out of my way. And then, but then sometimes we're just holding on to invisible, like emotional strings that hold us back here and we might not even know it. So a few things we did on this cruise were we created a clear personal vision where we got so excited about what we wanted and where we were going that stays so planted in our mind even through life. But yet we also created a space to let go of and heal from guilt, resentment, fear, anger, anything that holds us back, that slows us down because we can't get here. Like we can't create this when we're still stuck back here. So I know that every time I embark on an adventure like this, I leave filled. I leave connected. I love the ability to just laugh with friends for 3 days. You know what I mean? Like the plays are just amazing. So I am going to introduce, now we had about 25, 28 people there, 3 countries represented. So we had a couple from Germany come. Sonia lives in Florida, but her team is in Germany. All over the States, Canada was represented. Like people showed up and they did what it took to get there. And because of that, they left changed. So Carla Burns, are you on with me here today? I mean, I know you are. So can you just unmute yourself?
There we go.
Yay, there you are. Okay. So Carla, you are really the mastermind behind this adventure. So for those of you that don't know, hold on, Carla. For some reason, people are like muted. Yeah, they should be muted. You're going to have to unmute yourself again. But Carla's the mastermind behind Disney. She knew that we wanted to take ourselves to that whole nother level. And to do that, we had to be in a really magical place. So Carla, would you mind sharing why Disney?
Absolutely. So so for those of you that were on the cruise, I shared with you how Walt Disney has been just a huge part of my life ever since I was a very small child. So for me, Disney it's that magical place that allows you and gives yourself permission to dream. And it takes you back to that childhood place where you have that childlike faith. So I love Disney for that. But really, I mean, I've done castle retreats before and villas in Spain. And so I know that neurologically, there's just something when you take yourself out of your regular day-to-day routine and you put yourself in a magical place. So something that makes you go, wow, like every second that you're there, from the minute that you walk in to everything that surrounds you, to the atmosphere, to the way that people that you're treated like royalty, like princesses. And so I know this does something in your brain, literally physically to your brain cells. So this is why it's so important. I mean, we could go to Disney for the day, we could do that, but there's something when you give yourself the space in that magical environment, and then you're surrounded by like-minded people, and every single day, everything we teach you is reinforced by the atmosphere and the shows and the language and the characters and just being in that magical place, literally. So yeah, I had this crazy dream. So like I said, I was doing castle retreats and exaggerating the places that I would bring my teams, but I've always had it in my mind that I would love to do a Disney cruise. And Disney, Denise and I have been, like she said, working together from way back when. And what I love about me and Denise is we're so super aligned with each other, and we're like opposites that attract. So I'm like I'm like the big dreamer. I can see the picture, but Denise is like, okay, this is how we're going to get it done. So when I was thinking about doing this Disney cruise, I was like right away thinking, Denise, do you want to do this with me? This will be awesome. And I knew it would be. So plus we love each other for so long. Just, when you have that friend that you're so aligned with and we have the same vision, I know her heart is for transformation, and really, she just pours into anything she does. She gives it her all, like 110%. So I knew that I could trust this dream with her, and that we would together make it something super special for you guys.
Yeah, we really do work so well together, Carla. You bring the magic and I bring it home. So it's really, really fun to work with you. And anytime you need someone like her in your life, where you say, if I ever need belief, I go to Carla and I say, pour belief into me. And she does. And I'm like, okay, thank you. So I think that's what this is all about. And our passion is to pour belief in to you guys. So I'm going to introduce Debbie Sasick. Debbie, can you unmute yourself?
Hey.
Yay! So Debbie, I wanted you to go next because you are a sideline sister to Carla and I as well. We call ourselves the OGs of the team. Like, we're the grandmas. It's cute. It's okay. But you always say yes, and you say yes consistently. And I feel like you hang out with Carla and I all the time, but yet you were like, I want to go on this. I'm going to soak in all that I can. And you had just gotten back from Africa. So I want to hear, why do you keep showing up, and your favorite part?
Oh my gosh. So my why I keep showing up is because who doesn't want to hang out with you guys? But, I think in order for us to stay strong in our journey, that we have to continually be plugging in, continually be being fed. I know when Dave and I first got in the business, we always gravitated towards the energy of it works, the positivity. And in order to keep that flame going, I think you just have to show up. So I've been always showing up. I mean, I always go to any event I can. Last year I wanted to come, and this year, like you said, even 24 hours after a flight from Africa, I get on the cruise to Disney. But what a great experience it is. And I think the biggest aha I take away is that we always have to, be continually plugging in, but sometimes you can get sidetracked on where your focus is. And for me, it was just a reminder of taking that time to envision what we really want. And I know that life can throw you some curveballs and you can get off track. And so just plugging back in and knowing where your vision is and taking you to the next level.
Awesome. Thank you for showing up. It's always so much fun when Debbie's around. All right. Carrie Young, are you available? If you want to unmute yourself. Kristi Christensen.
Hello.
Yay! Now I get to see Kristi in just a few weeks as well, as we're going back to Florida for the Top 20 retreat. And I also got to hang out with her in Surf and Turf. So when Kristi signed up for the cruise, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. This is going to be so much fun because I just know the energy that she brings to wherever she's at too. So Kristi, it was a pleasure to get to hang out with you in a different setting. And I would love to hear why you said yes and your favorite part.
So I said yes because it was you. So you guys, there's a lot of people that you will see in the company, and you'll see their faces a lot. You'll hear their stories a lot. You'll see them on stage a lot, things like that. And why do I not have a voice? And somebody's logged in on my Zoom from myself. They're probably going to do the power hour. Anyways, so I think that Denise, you are not seen as enough as you should, because you are a black diamond, and you went black diamond with to me, an attainable, sizable team that like I feel like I can grow myself, and that's duplication right there. That's leadership right there, and that's vision right there. And so to me, I was like, well, I have to go. Like, if I want to be where she's at, then I literally have to go. So, and it was one of my girls. She's like, we should go on this. I was like, all right, let's go. So I'm very, very, very grateful that I went. So I was talking to some of my girls about this, and I know there's going to be some newbies on here, and there's going to be some not newbies. So I'm just going to kind of share a little bit. And usually at events, sometimes it isn't what you see or what you hear. It's just those conversations that you have randomly with somebody. And so one of mine was with Carla, and we were just kind of talking about placement. And I don't want to get too far into this because I know this can be kind of iffy sometimes, but we all want to maximize our paychecks, right? Like, that's what we want to do. And I was having a conversation with her, and we were just talking about placement. And obviously, if you're brand new, you're at a different place in your business than I am, but eventually you're going to be signing distributors. You are going to be wanting to be earning those fast start bonuses and things like that. And I just want you guys to know that if you really truly want to, that's true, Debbie. If you really truly want to maximize your check and you want to be black diamond one day, you need to enroll, and you need to have that power of that duplication. And so I see that like all over Denise's face, because you don't enroll 500 distributors a month, but you still were able to reach black diamond in a sizable amount of times with a sizable amount of team members. So that was huge for me. But our Come As You Be party was awesome. I realized that a lot of the people that I was surrounding myself with, like, they're at a different level than me, which I love. Like, you always think, especially as an ambassador, you're like, okay, like, we're all doing this. But I found out that basically 50% of the people that were there were writing a book. And I was like, should I be writing a book? And I thought that was so cool too, because I was like, I had never thought about writing a book, but should I be writing a book? Like, and even if I never write a book, when you are around people that are dreaming bigger than you, where you're like, never in my life would I have thought to write a book, you are dreaming bigger. And so my Come As You Be, it was obviously black diamond. And it was a couple other things that I had written down. I had some papers for them and things like that. And it's, for me, the biggest thing that I always get from you guys is just that vision. And you have always talked about too, like listening to the strangest secret. And the reason why I say this, and some stuff, it might be stuff that I had already learned, but it needs to be fresh. Like, even when you're an ambassador, you still have to do personal development every single day. You still have to go to events to get filled up every single time you can. And so I left there, and my goal was now in my heart and not my head, which we talked about a lot. And, I love that, because Carla was really, going on to that. And I was like, that's so true, because when I think of black diamond, I'm like, that's a lot of work. Like, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know how that's going to happen. But I'm like, I know eventually it will happen. Carrie and I were both saying, like, it'll eventually happen. I just have no idea. And I actually have a piece of paper on my wall that says $75,000 a month. And I put April. But even that was kind of scary for me. I'm like, I don't want to look at it that much. But as we were talking about the steps to our goals and taking it from our heads to our hearts, I just really strongly got a different number. And I was like, 60,000 by the end of February. Like, I can do that. And I just felt very strongly from it. And I just got really excited. And it went from kind of that fear, like, I know it could happen eventually, but I'm hella scared, to now, like, I just got that excitement and that drive. You know, I always have it, but it was different. It went from my head to my heart. And so that was huge for me, because I was like, that, I feel like that was my, I don't want to say goal from God, but it was like, that's what he put on my heart. And so anyways, I'm just really, really, really excited. And I just love spending time with you guys, because it's just contagious. Like, that's just what it is. Your dreams are contagious.
Oh, it is so much fun. And that Come As You'll Be party, there's something, you guys, about saying your goals and writing your goals, because we did that. You know, we wrote them down. We talked in partners. We said what we wanted. But then when you act as if it's already done, there's a shift. And all of a sudden, you're like living like it's completed, and it changes your whole view of it.
We could not even keep track. I was literally looking at Carla. I'm like, wait, do you really have 4 houses in all those places? Or is this as if it's already happened? Like, Jamie and I were looking at each other like, are they having a conversation about now or the 5 years from now? Like, it was so funny, because it was so, like, real to everybody. And we're, like, looking at each other like, and I was like, all right, I'm irritated. Like, she talking about now or 5 years, or what are we talking about right now? And so It was cool, though, because you really, like, felt like you were in that space. And when you feel like you're in that space, then all of a sudden it doesn't seem so far away.
And when you know that you know that you know that you know, something changes, and it's like blinders on, and you already are working hard, but it's with a different energy, and you get different results. Oh, mic drop. Thanks, Kristi. All right, Carrie, you just hopped on. Thank you so much. I'd love to hear your favorite part of the weekend.
Okay, so my favorite part, I was like, I don't want to say it was the inner child, but I don't know if anybody else talked about that, but it was, which is so crazy. But so Carla was like, oh, we're going to do this meditation and you should bring Kleenexes. And I was like, I don't cry, so I'm not bringing any Kleenexes. And then we started doing, it was like a 50-minute meditation, I think, because I was like, oh, asleep by the end. And they basically had you go back to your childhood. And so like I was like, I had an awesome childhood, so like I just wasn't expecting anything to come up, and something came up, and it was just a memory that I had, and it must have been before the age of 6. And I just saw my dad, and he was drunk, and he like broke something, and then the cops got called, and like I was just didn't have a lot of clarity on it, because I was like, what the heck? Like, but my heart, and we're like sleep because we're like meditating, I don't know, my heart just like got so tight, and all of a sudden I just started bawling my eyes out, and I'm like, oh my God, I wasn't gonna bring Kleenexes because I didn't think this was a big deal. And so then we had to go through to like forgive our inner child and just love her, and so I'm just like hugging myself like that. I was like a little fatty, so but I was just kidding. But no, and I was just loving myself and like saying like, I forgive you, it's okay, you're gonna, you know, like, and just doing everything that it was a guided meditation, so I was just doing everything that it said to do. And it was so crazy, because after like she was healed from that situation, that it was like all of a sudden I appeared as a new person, like as a new little girl, and I appeared in my Disney dress. And what's so crazy is I actually called my mom after we got off the cruise, because I'm like, what the heck? I got to know what happened. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, am I just making stuff up? You know? And so I called her. I said, Mom, like, I said, something like this was holding me back. I said, something happened. And I said, can you tell me what happened that night? And it's just so crazy. So she goes to tell me that night, my dad came home just wasted, destroyed the entire house. Broke our piano. And that was actually one of the things that came up for me. It was the piano, but I don't remember having a piano. So, and then they broke the piano, and then he hit my mom. And I was like, oh my God, Mom, like, where was I during all this time? And she goes, I don't know. And I'm thinking like, well, I must have seen this. And I said, She goes, but that was the last time that ever happened. And so that was so crazy that one situation that happened and that I held on to that and I didn't even know I was holding on to it. And then I told her, I said, well, after I forgave myself and healed, she didn't really understand this part, but I was like, I said, but what was so crazy, Mom, is I came out in this little Disney dress, and she said, and I was like, it had like a Mickey Mouse and it had the white and black polka dots. And she goes, yeah. And she goes, that was your favorite dress. She used to wear that all the time. And I was like, oh my gosh, just how crazy and how powerful. And ever since then the whole weekend, I just bawled my eyes out. And then I also just like, during that Come As You Will Be party, like I like just so many things when they came up, like I started bawling my eyes out. Ashley Mayfield was sitting next to me and she was like, Carrie, I'm just crying because I'm thinking about like all the stuff that I'm going to get, like I get to do, and I'm going to all the people that I'm going to help. Oh my God, I can cry just thinking about it. But like when you really unlock your dreams, and I think when you have that why that will make you cry, like it just gets me so excited to do those things.
Oh my gosh, girl. Then you did not remember your dress?
It had been something that I had forgotten about. But how crazy is we were on a Disney cruise and I showed up in my favorite Disney dress. And my mom said, you love that dress. You wore it all the time. And so now what's so crazy is I actually can see my inner child. Like she's very released, very free. I feel like when I came home, you know, you said in order to get from here and you want to get to there, sometimes there's like these bands. I kind of think of them as bands, you know, like those running bands, and you try to run and then all of a sudden you like get so far to there and then you like just like get pulled back because you're like, what the heck? And now I feel like I come home like lighter and like free. I feel like something that I didn't even know was holding me back. Like I was able to release that. So that was like super exciting.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing, Carrie. And, you know, you guys, that's why we take time to do it, because in our normal, everyday, multitasking world, that just doesn't happen. So thank you for saying yes and being a part of that with us. Jamie, if you want to unmute.
Hi.
Yay. Thank you. You are the catalyst for Kristi saying yes. So I appreciate you stalking the Lifers page and responding. Yay. So share with us your favorite memory or aha moment of the weekend.
Okay. Well, I'll do it quickly, but I did have a few. Being able to be around like you and Carla and some of the other girls, and just realizing how big you can dream, you know, and you don't have to see it in giant steps, but it's a process along the way, and hearing everybody's little struggles and trials, but then the success that they reached because they pushed through those. It just makes you realize that everyone has it. Everyone does it. It's not like you go from point A to point Z. There's all the little B, C, D, E, F steps in between. So I loved that. I just love the energy that everyone brings, because we're all working towards one goal. You realize, you know, like everyone's goals are pretty similar. So I just love that. And then the other thing I loved is that there was the structure to it. It wasn't like we just got on a ship to hang out and have a party. And it was very thought out and purposeful. And so, you know, the first day we visualized and let go of negativity, and then you had us write down goals, and then we vocalized those goals to someone else, and then we actually had the Come As You Are party, and we felt to those goals, you know, so we had like every emotion to it. And so it was just awesome because, you know, you got to see every aspect of it. Letting go of the negativity, realizing what you're capable of, visualizing, feeling it. It was just so well encompassed. And so that was my biggest thing. Like, you just have to get there and be around all these people that inspire you and motivate you and help you see that bigger vision and know how to get there.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, so good. And God, like, he tells us our steps in popcorn pieces, you know, so we might have this big vision and then we're like, but I don't know how to get there. And that can stop us a lot of times. But if we talked a lot about trusting that one step at a time, because, and Carla and I even shared struggles that we've had and things we've had to work through, and knowing that we're all just on a journey together.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you. It was so great hanging out.
Yeah,
Yay!
definitely. Thanks for the
I know.
invite.
Yes, I know. I'm like, conference. Wait, make sure we need to have like a reunion at conference.
Yes, please.
Thank you. All right. Amanda Pruitt.
Hello.
Yay. Okay. So Amanda was there last year, which was our first time. And so we did some things the same, some things different. But at the end of the day, we all need this kind of thing consistently. So thank you, Amanda, for saying yes. And I'd love to hear this year's aha moment.
So it's so funny because I went into it thinking, okay, like I've already done this once. I'm just excited to not bring my husband. I mean, I liked having him there, but I brought two of my leaders and I knew, okay, it's going to be the same thing, only I'll experience it with them, but it just completely was not. And it's so funny how God just gives you what you need at that moment. So for me, I think when I look back over my journey, my road to ambassador really was like this. It was that success story where every month the checks are higher and, just very quickly. And I had those blinders on and the how was never a factor for me. So it was that newbie ignorance on fire that we wish all of our newbies would have. And, I had the dream boards and I believed 100% like the vision, like I had it. I mean, it was great. And then something kind of happened, you get to the top and I found myself sitting in the house that was on my dream board and looking at all the goals I'd crossed off. And I kind of got stuck in the, well, now what? And I completely lost how do I even visualize? How do I know how to want more? And I just got completely stuck. And so for me, I didn't realize that it was some of the things that had happened to me along the way that I did keep the blinders on, past relationships, friendships, things within the business, things outside of the business, all these outside distractions that I was just holding on to without even realizing it. So for me, it was in this little booklet when we did our release and like forgiving ourselves, but also forgiving other people. And it was just literally writing it down and speaking it to somebody that I had never spoken to before and telling her all these things. And, then when we went to, that was the day before we went to the private island, we were standing at the beautiful water. I mean, it's all shades of, I'm in Florida. We don't have water like that. And I just was standing there looking out and I could visualize something that's on my next dream board. And it was just like a moment like, okay, cool. We did our 10-year renewal and in 6 more years, we're going to go to Bora Bora and I could see it. Like and so for me, it was just a huge aha moment that even if you once upon a time had vision and you've lost it in an instant, you can get it back. It's definitely like you can 100% get it back by going to things like this.
Awesome. Yes, you can. And like, no matter where you are in the business, whether your goal is Ruby or your goal is Diamond, your goal is ambassador, you get there. We always are asking ourselves what's next. And it can be easy to kind of go, I'm okay. And do I need to keep dreaming? And can I just stay here? This is kind of nice. But you're right, Amanda, you can have that new vision in an instant. And then all of a sudden that fire is lit again. Awesome. Well, thank you for coming and being a part of it. And I expect you next year too. Now you're a lifer. Okay, Dana, come on up. If you're here, unmute yourself.
Hello.
Yay, there you are. Now you got Carla back in the gym, so just teasing. They were talking about weights at their dinner, come as you will be party. But all right, why you said yes and your favorite part.
Okay, so I said yes because I say yes to all of these things because I've been in for 4 years now and I understand the importance of showing up to going up. And it doesn't matter the blockings, everything else. The devil is always trying to get in our way. And so we should always find a way to make it to these things no matter what. Say yes and figure it out afterwards is my motto. And I train my team the same way. So for me, a big aha this weekend, and just a huge thing for me was this business requires focus. It requires having the blinders to focus on your vision, focus on goals that you have, and to strive for them. And I did not realize how much noise I had around me every day in my life. I stay at home. I have 3 small children. I do the dishes, I do laundry, carpool, taking them to and from activities, helping take care of my husband and getting him ready for work and everything else. And this noise that surrounds us every day are things that distract us and keep us from working our business successfully, or being the best mom we can be, or being the best wife we can be. And learning how to manage that noise was a huge thing that I got from you ladies this weekend. And it was just like a mind-blowing moment. And it's not that we need to get rid of the noise. It's just that we need to manage it, and we need to schedule it, and put it on our calendars, and understand and give ourselves grace that we can't be all things all the time. But we can be a kick-ass mom during the day, and then we can be a kick-ass business owner at night when we have the time, just like right now when we're on this Zoom and I can focus on my business. So I think it's just important that we understand that, acknowledge it, and put that noise to a calendar, and understand that you need to schedule that time so that you can focus on your business. Yes. So you can focus on your business when you need to focus on your business, and not spend the rest of the day blaming ourselves and feeling guilty for not being the best business owner we can be. So that was a huge thing for me. But then also embracing the quiet. Having quiet time, whether it's 10 minutes, 10 seconds, whatever, but have some quiet time for yourself, where there is no noise. Even if it's locking yourself in your car in your driveway, or going for a drive around the block without the radio on. But I encourage us to not only manage the noise, but also manage the quiet, and embrace both of them, and understand that they're very important for us to be successful. So,
amen. Amen. We can have it all, but we can't do it all at the exact same moment.
Yes.
So yes, having your calendar scheduled and focused so you can be in the moment, fully embrace it, and then work, and there's time for it all. So thank you, Dana. Everyone's like, you spoke to me. I needed that. Yes. We got a lot of CEO mamas in the house. All right, Miss Sonia, are you on?
Yep.
Yay. Thank you for hanging out. Now, Sonia is from Germany, so she's got a German team, but she lives here in Florida. So I just am proud that we had Germans on our ship with us. So I'd love to hear your favorite aha moment of the night.
Oh my gosh. So there have been so many. And like, as I'm sitting here listening, I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to say? Like, what am I going to say? Because there has been so much that I just want to share. And to be honest, I'm still like processing. Like, there's still so much happening in me and in my head. And, I think I'm realizing that everything is coming together. Like, why I'm in the United States, like, why am I here? And not in Germany, So when Carla was talking about, that she pretty much grew up with Disney and princesses and imagine things and dream about things, I'm like, oh, great. Like, I didn't grow up with Disney. Like, Germans don't watch TV. Like, we just don't. Like, kids don't watch TV. So I'm like, well, I read Brothers Grimm, but I didn't watch Disney. So I'm never going to get there. And, but then, just over all those days, I'm like, well, I always had like a very colorful imagination, and sometimes I drove my parents crazy. And I remember that after 4th grade, we went on a trip to the United States. My parents took me, and I just loved it. And I remember I was in New York, and we just took a trip, and I just felt so different. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, this is where I belong. Like, this is totally where I belong. And the next year when school was out, I told all of my friends, like everybody that was in class, I told them that we were moving to the United States. And I just left it there. Like, there was no doubt on my mind that we were going to move to the United States. When I came back the next school year, everybody was like, oh, what happened? Because like, only my closest friends knew that I didn't really move. But I was so, I don't know. The United States just never left my mind. And then after I graduated, I took a trip through the United States. And again, I had that feeling, oh my gosh, I belong here. And then sure enough, like, when I pretty much had everything that I ever worked for and wished for in Germany, God puts this crazy guy in my heart, like, that lives halfway around the world and makes me move. And then, it's just, now I know why I don't know why I'm here. And then, being able to take this business from here to Germany and playing that part of that, oh my God, that just gives me goosebumps. And when Carla looks at me and says, there's no coincidence, and you just watch, there's big things happening in Germany. Oh my gosh, like, yes, I know now. And thank you so much, you guys, for all of that. Like, I'm like, I don't know. I just thank you. I'm so happy I was on there.
Mind blown, heart blown. And I love when you can look back and see, like, the popcorn pieces don't always make sense at the time, but when you look back and you go, now I get it. Like, this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. And I'm using all of my gifts within this business. And it's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
Yeah. That's when you know that this is where you're supposed to be.
Yes. And now the alignment, head and
Yes.
heart. Oh my gosh. Like,
Yes. Game on. Game
on.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you, Miss Sonia.
Well, thank you guys so much.
Stacy, I saw you just pop on and you are next on my list. So how are you?
I'm doing fabulous. How are you, Denise?
Yay, awesome. You jumped on the cruise and we were so excited to have you there because everybody said like hanging out with you in the hot tub was their aha moment. So thank you for just pouring belief into everyone you encounter as well. But share with us why you said yes and your favorite part.
Okay, well, I absolutely said yes because it was you and Carla, two very inspirational, motivational women in this business, of course, powerhouses. And I love that you pour into people. So I was like, I want to be on the boat with them, dreaming big, 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 big. Yes, absolutely. So that was my first thing. But then when you had a 2023 Come As You Are party, that really, I do the dream boards and I set my goals and, all that kind of stuff, but that really kind of stretched me a little bit. So just the act of thinking about and planning for, from my outfit to my shoes to my props that I was going to bring with me, really made things accelerate in my goals and in my plans and my dreams. And so I'm like, okay, this is cool. Like myself and my roommate both experienced some pretty cool, quick, exponential manifestation of things. We get on the boat. It's fabulous. Having a great time. Loving the trainings, the meditations, loving the downtime, the girl time, the talk time. All of that was freaking incredible. We go to the Come As You Are party and I'm like, okay, come as you are. 5 years from now, I'm looking at, got it, no problem. I asked God, you put the words in my mouth. I don't know what all I'm going to say. I don't know what all is going to manifest in 5 years, but you do. And I'm going to speak it. And it's just going to roll out. And so I walk up to first Debbie Sassick. Hey, how are you? Oh my God, I haven't seen you in 5 years since the last cruise. What's going on with you? And tell me all about you. So she tells me. And then she says, well, tell me about you. What have you been doing in 5 years? And all this stuff rolls out. And I spent 6 hours the whole night, dinner, all the way to your room till midnight, spewing life over the next 5 years and everything that's accomplished. And I wouldn't go back. I remember talking to Carrie Young. She goes, then wait, does your daughter really walk and talk? How old are you really? Are you 24? Are you 49? How old are you? And I wouldn't go back. I'm not going back to that. I was 100% full on enroll. And that was probably, I would say, one of the most powerful things I've ever done. I owned that all the way, and that freaking was incredible. 100% worth freaking hundreds of millions of dollars right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm like, my cheeks hurt from smiling so big. And it's true, you guys. Like, these are the things that, it works every time. And you are painting a picture so clear that there's like no wavering. There's no double-mindedness. There's no, what should I do? There's no, is this the right thing? No. Your picture is so clear. Mm-hmm. You're like ready to run to go get it.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lisa, are you on? She's not? Okay. We'll move on to Melissa. Melissa, are you on? I thought I'd be able to unmute everyone, but it is like too many people.
Hi.
perfect timing, I hope. She's like in the middle of an event. She had a half an hour where she's getting to the event. So thank you for being on. You were here last year as well, and you said, I'm not missing out. So I want to hear from you why you said yes and your favorite part.
Because it was so, we've got this on the TV screen, so it's kind of weird. Okay, I'm gonna walk over here. It was so magical the first time, especially because I went around, like nobody knew this because I had just had a baby and I was breastfeeding and leaving to my room every couple hours because I had to go pump. But last year, every single person I talked to, I would run back to my room and write down every single thing that they said because I wanted to take back every drop of what I learned back to my team and back to myself. And it was just very moving being there with everybody. And so this year, I didn't do that. I didn't take a notebook with me. I just soaked it in, and I was just present with everyone that I talked to. And every single person I talked to, I learned something from, which I think is what's so cool about a retreat like this. And I just made so many friends. That's the coolest part too.
Yeah, it's true. You leave connected. That's the thing, is when you go outside of your normal routine and you have adventures together, you leave more connected. So is there anything that you're going to come home and implement?
Yes, everything that I learned from Ashley Mayfield and her talking about the color personalities, which I'm going to talk about tonight, because we have a lot of combinations that she talked about here. So I'm going to talk about that. And also the fact that nobody mentioned their rank until the very last day. And how, Denise, you said that you were Black Diamond in your heart for a long time before it actually came to be. So that's something that I took away, definitely.
Awesome. Yeah. We never talked about rank. We didn't talk about, we talked about business, but we talked about what was working. And it's just a very different energy and very different flow when you're removed in a situation like that. And we're all sidelines. A lot of us didn't know each other before this event, but we could trust that we were like-minded and all going in the same direction. Thank you, Melissa. Have fun at your event.
Bye.
Bevan, are you on?
I am.
Yay! All right. Well, Bevan, it was an honor to get to know and hang out with you this week. So why did you say yes, and what was your favorite part?
I said yes because I saw how different Melissa was when she came back last year. And I'm also still decompressing a little bit. But I have to say my favorite part, I had, the come as you will be party. At first, you think, when you told us, we're going to get there and talk about it's been 5 years since I've seen you. And at first it just feels weird. It feels kind of awkward. However, I had the pleasure of sitting across from Stacy at dinner. And let me just tell you, she missed her calling as an actress because she was amazing. She just was so in character and kept it going the whole entire dinner and was asking us questions. And then I started thinking, okay, well, I understood why she was so intense and so into it. And I have to tell you, Stacy, that Michelle was sitting next to me and she said to me at one point, I have no doubt that every single one of these things that she is talking about is going to come true. And I was like, you know what? She's right. It's just, you have to, the other thing, Denise, that you said is that, when you were going for Black Diamond and you missed it a couple of times, that your goal didn't change, but that you had to change your belief to match your goal. And I think that can be a very big disconnect. The other fun thing that I learned is that, and I've known that, your rank doesn't really matter, but that you can make more money as a triple diamond than you can as an ambassador. So that was fun to learn. But all in all, it was life-changing for sure.
And you came with keys to your new family cottage.
I did. Yes.
Awesome.
So those will be the actual keys one day.
All right. That's the thing is sometimes when we plan this party, for those of you that are thinking, I don't even know what I want to do next week. Like that's most of us. So that's okay. Like a lot of times people get mad at me when we plan this event because they're like, I don't know. What are you talking about? What do you make me do? I don't know what I want. But it's just so much fun to get those dreaming like brain cells moving again because we adult so much that it's just play, right? And it's creating. And then when we go to this event, people start asking questions and you're like, well, this is what happened. And then this is what happened. So Rachel Hollis was interviewed by Lewis Howes. If you don't know him, look him up. He's on YouTube and podcast. And she wore a jean jacket. So I came dressed like I just got interviewed by Lewis Howes. And then you talk about who you meet in LA and, million books sold. And then, travel in the world and 3 black diamonds on your team. And, you're just like, it just grows. So it's beautiful.
Yes.
All right. Karen, are you there, Karen? Christina, are you here?
I'm here. Karen might be out for dinner.
Okay. Well, my friend, so Christina is someone that we didn't know either before she came or before she said yes. And we met on the ship and I feel like I now have a life business buddy that is going to help keep me motivated and focused as well. I know they're like my new bestie. Yes, I know. So it was so much fun to get to know you. And I just can't wait to keep like hanging out. So tell us your favorite part and why you said yes.
That is so kind. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me, Denise. My first conference I went to and I was sitting up in the stands and I saw you and I saw Carla and I saw Stephanie and Joel and everything else kind of faded into the background. And I left there thinking, those are my people. I need those people in my life. And that was solidified again when I went to Dublin this year for a leadership retreat when Cammie was talking about the 5 people that you hang out with the most influencing you. And I realized other than my bestie, Karen, I need to level up. Like it's time. So I was looking for the opportunity. You presented it to us and I did not question. I didn't even tell Karen that we were going. And I was just like, okay, we got to do this. So I signed up and I was just like, okay, I know that I was meant to be here. So that's why I made the decision to come. I feel like I have to share this. I want to be like that youthful light of everybody, but I feel like this is something that I really took away because I have always had big dreams. I've always had big vision. But that made some people around me uncomfortable. And sometimes I've had to play it down, or I feel like I have to justify myself in being like, I know, like 2 weeks into this business, I'm like, I am Ambassador Diamond. Like this is happening and that's who I am. And I envisioned myself like that. And I started working that day, every day, like I was an Ambassador Diamond and learning from everybody that was there. But one of the things that I didn't realize is that in the last year or so, I've done quite a bit of counseling because I just had to let go. I was bullied really bad in high school. I realized that my parents maybe had put some self-limiting beliefs on me because they wanted me to be successful and be safe. And I had let go of some of my dreams because I truly didn't believe in my heart that I could do it. Had my parents known that or people that I love known that, they would not have acted that way. But that's something that was imprinted on my heart. And I really had to let that go. There was a couple of times, I'm one of those people that I overanalyze. How can I be better? How can I bring, I have a ton of integrity. What can I bring to my team? So when people weren't meeting me or weren't happy with where they were, I took that personally and I thought, what am I doing wrong? Am I not enough for this? Am I not giving them enough? But I've let go of that guilt. And even though I love those people, I will be here in the same capacity, but I can't just keep lifting and pulling. And I had to let go of that because I felt like I was anchored. I even said that to my husband, before I left, and then came home and I was like, I am not willing to be anchored anymore. And I don't care. And, people will say to you, when's enough? Isn't $20,000, $30,000 enough? Is that not enough for you? You know what? I don't feel guilty anymore saying that it's not, because
a couple of things shaped me in the last year. You know, things get emotional and things happen, and people say things out of emotion when they maybe don't mean them, but they impact me because I care. And a couple of people had said, you know, when things maybe weren't going the way they wanted in their business, or they had maybe lost rank or something had happened, it was really easy to blame me. And they said, you know, you're only out for yourself. You're only out for your ambassador. And it hit me so hard because I never would ever think that intention. Like, what I'm in this business to be better for others and to help others be better. And I realized that if I stopped now and I settled now for this amazing income and went debt free and had all the things that my family needed, that would stop me from helping so many more people. That would stop me from being able to give more than I could ever give before. That would stop me in my tracks and not allow me to be that black diamond. Even though my vision was there, I had that anchor subconsciously that I was fighting, that self-sabotage that I didn't know because I didn't take the time for myself for the past 3 years. As a mom, I felt guilty. I felt guilty for taking time for me to meditate, to manifest, to pray, to do yoga, to do things that fill my soul. I didn't take that time, but I will now because I need that time. And it's so important for us that are giving and giving and giving to have that time for ourselves so that we can quiet all the noise and realize why we are here and we're meant for more.
Absolutely. We have so many invisible ties that are holding us back that we don't even realize, and they could be from childhood, they could be from past hurts. But when you create a space to heal, to let go, and to decide, what is it that I want? What next? Like, now what? Movement can happen. And here's what we talked about, you guys. When you're striving and you're trying so hard and you're doing all the right things, but it's not working for you, there could be some emotional guilt, resentment, anger, frustration, things that you're holding on to. And once you release that, you go faster, quicker, suddenly, with less effort because of the shift that you've made.
Well, and I realize that all of you guys, like a lot of you guys are where I want to be, have this unshakable faith. This unshakable faith in yourself. Yes, you may have times that you question what you're doing or your focus or where you need to be, but you have an unshakable faith that you were meant for this, and you never let that self-talk get in the way. It may, you might hear it, but you're like, that is not mine to own, and you let it go. And instead of me overanalyzing and think, how could I do this better, or why am I not enough for this person? Why is this I am enough. And I can do this, and I will be Black Diamond in the next 5 years, and I will bring more to the table for everybody that's here. And I'm so excited because now I know that I'm meant to be here, and I have a seat at the table.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Preach it, they're saying. Woohoo! Thank you so much, girl. And I definitely want to come visit in Victoria because it's beautiful, coming. I hear. All right. Charnice, are you on? Or Charnel? Dominique?
I'm on. Oh my God, I wasn't expecting to talk, so I'm going to keep my audio muted.
Okay. Well.
I'm sorry, my camera.
Okay. Well, Charnel, I just need to props to you because your group was someone that we hadn't fully met. Apparently we had met, but I didn't know that yet. We had been chatting back and forth on Facebook for a few months, but you guys came so ready. You came so warm, so ready, jumping in with both feet. And it was just such an honor to hang out with you for the weekend. And you took your cabin on this cruise. So you said yes to everybody. So anyway, I just want to hear from you why you jumped in and what your favorite part was.
Okay, so actually my twin sister, Charnice, she invited me and a few other diamonds and Alejandra on. And it was such an honor. And I'm going to be 100% honest. For me, I was like, oh my God, Disney. I want to go to Disney. I've never been there. I want to take cool pictures. I just wanted to go to Disney. I just wanted to be on a cruise. But when I got there, it was just a complete different experience. When we walked in, they were all welcoming us by name. And it was just so amazing. And I still didn't expect really a life experience from this. But just in these meditation sessions, I realized that there is so much hurt that we carry so many things that have affected us in life, and we just haven't been able to move past them. And because of it, it makes me as a person like not feel like I'm worthy or that I can do things. But this meditation session and just being in Disney and really experience like Disney is magic, and anything that you want you can have. It's just like, and I like literally every single day since the cruise I've been like, nope, I'm a kid, I'm gonna have whatever I want, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get that, I don't even care about how, it's mine, like I'm gonna get it. I don't care what the how is, I don't care what the journey is, I know what I want and I'm gonna get it. So that was really what like I got the most out of this cruise, which was just life-changing for me, because it's just like there's no limitations. You can have everything that you want. And I was telling my friend, I was like, we met Denise Walsh, and it's like meeting a Kim Kardashian of it work. But she's not. She's like so amazing. She's so down to earth, and we really was able to like pour into you, and you were able to pour back into us. And I'm just so excited to go bring this new passion for life and for magic and for having whatever I want to my team. So thank you.
Yes. Well, thank you, my dear, for coming. And you guys took epic pictures. I've been watching your social and I was like, oh my gosh, we need a photographer there next year. So good. And it was just an honor to hang out and just laugh and ask questions and brainstorm and hang out with you guys. So thank you for saying yes.
Amazing. Thank you.
All right. Cassie, are you on?
Yes, I'm here.
Yay. Okay. So Cassie won last year and wasn't able to go, and she was like determined to make it this year. And Cassie, you have such an amazing story. I know that you're a fighter and have a huge heart for your family and for your team. And you are like one determined cookie. You like figure it out along the way. And so it was such a great experience for me to just hear your story. And you are like a ripple effect to moms and to your team and just beyond. And I know this is honestly just the beginning for you. So why did you say yes? And what was your favorite part? Oh, and you're muted. Try again. Unmute yourself. I don't know what happened.
Okay.
There you go. Okay.
Thank you, Denise. I won last year to come, and I was so devastated when I couldn't come last year. At that time in my life, I was really craving leadership. And I honestly think everything kind of happened for a reason, where I needed to grow. And coming on the ship this year, I asked God for specific things, for clarity and answers for my team. And what was next? Like, because 3 months into this business, I had a lot of stuff happen in my life that shifted to where I made that decision that I was never going to allow anybody to control my future, that it was going to be me. And that ambassador was just in my heart. It was in my heart like from that moment. And that moment when I decided that was the moment that I found out my daughter had Kabuki syndrome. And I had realized the colors of Kabuki were the same colors as It Works. And that was like the goosebumps from head to toe that I realized that I was meant to be here. And so then I was like, so along the way, figuring out what I'm doing, like how to lead my team the best way. And so when I came on this cruise, I really asked God for that clarity, for that answer. And I remember it was a Sunday morning. We had just finished our session and I still didn't have my answer yet. I'm like, okay, God, like this, I want my answer. I want to come back like different, like knowing exactly what I needed. And so there was a bunch of us in the lobby Sunday night. It was Carrie and Stacy and Lisa and Christina and Karen. And we were like all kind of like breaking away, like kind of talking with one another. And I was talking to Lisa, and all of a sudden as we're talking and just having this conversation, I look up at the Christmas tree and the answer just came to me. And I literally had chills from head to toe. And I almost started bursting out crying. I was really trying to control myself in the middle of the lobby on the ship. And I realized that I've had this dream. I've had this vision solidly since been 3 months in this business. And I've been in this business for 3.5 years. So it's not just been like It's been a while. And I've had this vision, but my team hasn't had that vision. And my team didn't have that clarity of where they want it to go. So everything I've built has been up to my vision. And it's not been what they have in their heart. So they needed to start switching from mind to heart. And so I came back, and I'm like, as soon as I had Wi-Fi, I was messaging my team. I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys, like, wait until we get on Zoom. So literally Tuesday night, I had a team Zoom, and I literally started taking my team through my exercises and through everything, and starting breaking through guilt and resentment, and having them started creating their dream life. And we had so many breakthroughs today on the team, and then just crying over, like, I didn't even realize that this was a guilt, or this was a resentment, or anything like this. I didn't know I had these feelings inside. And like, so my team is like literally like been working on this since yesterday night. We had a Zoom, and then today my team's just been messaging me like, oh my gosh, I needed this. Like, this is huge. And creating those visions for themselves of what they want. So I've literally, and I was like crying on the Zoom with my team, and just all the good feels, and we left changed, and like my team is literally gonna we're just getting started. I mean, it's been absolutely, I got everything I needed and answered.
And you're exactly right. You're just getting started. And that's duplication, you guys. I always say it's our job not to motivate people, not to light a fire under them, but to light a fire within them. Because when they've got their own personal vision, then it's unstoppable. And then you get to do it together. And then 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4 anymore. And you're all moving in the same direction. It reminds me of like Nemo when they're like, swim down, just keep swimming, like everybody. And then when everybody's going in the same direction, amazing, crazy things happen. So yeah. Thank you. All right, Miss Erica, we've just got a few people left, you guys. And I love everybody's aha moments and experiences. Erica, are you here?
Hey. I'm here.
You are. Erica always says yes. And I can tell you, Erica is a professional stalker of me, which I really appreciate.
Yes.
So you were on the cruise last year as well, and you won a spot this year and got to bring 2 of your teammates this time, which really is a special thing. So I'd love to hear your favorite part of this last weekend.
Well, a lot of people have touched on so many things that really hit home, but something that I personally feel really hit me was not to be afraid. And Stacy kind of was walking me through this, because when we were doing the meditation, I had done meditation here at home, but when we did the whole inner child one, I don't know why I got scared, I guess, of the power, realizing all of that. And I normally don't talk to people about like stuff like that scare me, and but for some reason I talked to her, and she really walked me through it and made it clear to me that that's not something to be afraid of. You have faith, you have God, He's with you at all times, so just trust. All the visions, all the wants, everything that we have in our heart, there's no reason to be afraid of it. It's there for a reason. And I know we hear it, but these kind of things with the whole noise thing, like I forget who was saying it right now. It really does just not let you take time to even get to know yourself, even see like exactly where you stand with everything. And those are just some of the things that I came home with. And we need to put ourselves first. We need to not be afraid, not afraid of whatever it is that you're afraid of, success. I don't even know what exactly I was afraid of, but I came back, I put all that stuff aside. It's not, she's right. I have nothing to be afraid of. And just determined. And yeah, that's mainly, I mean, everything else has been talked about. So just take everything everybody said, and it's true.
Well, and the opposite of faith or a fear is faith, right? So if you ever feel those feelings of am I good enough, or can I do this, or fear of success, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of, anything, right? The opposite of that is to choose faith. And when your faith gets so loud, the fears get quieter, and it happens every single time. So Erica, thanks so much for hanging out with us. And how was it bringing your two teammates with you this time?
Well, I think that was even the better part, because last year when I walked on the ship, I was like in awe of everything. And then this time seeing their faces and just seeing them as they got little bits and pieces from everybody else, it was even better, because I don't know, I almost felt like when you have kids, you've already experienced so much of life, and then you see them and they see flowers and they see trees moving and, their little eyes. I felt like that with them the whole time. It was just, I loved it. Next year we're going to bring even more people, we've decided. So
yeah, it's really cool when you have people in your team experience these types of aha moments. You watch them create new brain cells and it's so much fun to do it together. So thank you.
No, thank you.
All right, Miss Maria.
Hello.
All right. Well, I would love to hear your favorite part of the weekend.
Hi, Denise. First, I want to thank you for inviting us. And I was so excited when I saw your email that I won the cruise. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm dreaming. Someone pinch me, please. But anyways, as I grew up, I always saw Disney on TV, in a very old TV. And I was always thinking that was only in the dreams, and dreams that I could go to Disney cruise or go to Disney. I left with a stronger vision, with a stronger faith, stronger energy, like Stacy's. I mean, everybody has an amazing, whatever, I mean, all the things that they share impact me. So it helped me, and I pick a little bit from everything. So my aha moment, and my daughter was all the time in my mind, because she's always dreaming like she's a princess, like she's a singer. The other day, at church, she even cried because she wanted to sing on the stage. And I said, if you dream that you're going to be a singer on the stage and you're going to be very famous, why not me? So I shared what I learned, I shared what I saw, and we're dreaming bigger as a family with my husband. And we sat in there, and we're going to get this, we're going to get that. And like, Mommy, are you okay? Yes, I'm okay. So, and my husband said, maybe you need to go to take a nap because you are like too excited. And I said, no, a lot of things are coming our way. A lot of great things are coming our way because we have dreams together. So I, like Mickey said, if you believe it, you can do it. So I believe it, I can do it.
Yay. And you're right. What we're learning, you guys, these skills, these experiences, they're changing the legacy of our family. We're shifting our family, and we're teaching these skills, this new thought pattern, this new way of life to our kids, and they're believing that anything is possible. And they know that it might be hard work, and it's not always easy, but they believe that it can. And hope for your future, you guys, at the end of the day, like if you like, that's the seed that burns and it creates such excitement. So I love that. You're not only redreaming yourself, you're reconnecting with who you are and what you really want, and then you're passing that through your family. Elsa! Yay! Elsa, do you want to say anything? Are you here? Do you want to unmute? Otherwise, we will end with Miss Ashley, and Jason.
Hey, hey.
All right. Well, you're probably not surprised that I had you guys bring down the house because, close us out here, because you guys are always full of energy. You came together, which I think is really special, because it's hard to experience something and then go home and relay it effectively. And so you guys got to do it together, and we just loved getting to know you. And the aha moments you brought everyone is so memorable.
Oh, Lordy.
Unfortunately, we've been fighting since we got back.
We're not. What happened on the boat stays on the boat.
This has been recorded. We don't have to share those aha moments. But you guys, I'd love to hear why you said yes. Yes. Because you've been saying yes to everything this year, and it's changed your business. But then what your favorite part of the experience was?
Yes. So definitely some embarrassing moments. So the reason that I said yes was because the first time I got asked to speak on stage this year in April, of course, Denise went after me because they had to end it with a bang, right? And she mentioned something I'd never heard her mention before, even though now I've heard her mention it all the time. You need to write down on a piece of paper 30 things you want to be, 30 things you want to have, and 30 things you want to do. And so my 30 things I want to do, the first thing I wrote down was I wanted to go on a Disney cruise. And if you're wondering if I actually wrote down 30 things, I didn't. I wrote down about 7 because we all know coming up with 21 things is easier than 90. So I only got 7. But the first thing I wrote down was a Disney cruise. And I came back from a leadership retreat where I was already dreaming bigger. I spent a weekend with Cammie. And the next day I come home, I see in the top leader page that Denise is opening it up to go on a Disney cruise with her. And I was like, okay, God, this is so crazy because I just got done telling Cammie Pentecost that I was going to be a black diamond. And now here this black diamond and Denise, and it all just like aligned together. It was so crazy. So I'm very grateful I just share this experience with Jason. But I came in extremely nervous. You know, I know I have a really bold personality and it's like, oh, Ashley Mayfield, but I came in really nervous. I did not know what to expect. And the Come As You Are party really kind of freaked me out. And so shout out Carrie Young. I had to next Carrie because I didn't even know what happened. But, you know, one of my
whole nother level.
Yeah, Carrie was a whole nother level. Let me tell you what, y'all. Carrie crying was amazing. And I say that with utmost love, Carrie. You know I love you. Carrie had me dreaming big, guys. I just was like, I'm coming as a black diamond because I know I'm going to be a black diamond in 5 years. I know I want a team in Australia. So I just got back from speaking internationally in Australia. And by the end of the evening, all of a sudden, my dreams kind of got a little outlandish, but I couldn't keep up with Carrie. She was dreaming so big. And next thing I knew, I had a Japanese lady, because me and Christina launched the company in Japan, and we had ambassadors there. And I got on my private jet. I got to bring back Ling Ling, who made me private sushi every week. So it got really out of control, but it was a good thing. But the biggest Ling Ling, Carrie, you crying was my favorite thing. I'm sorry. But my biggest aha moment was we had an amazing opportunity to sit across from Carla, and me and Jason were talking to Carla, and you know, she really pointed out that our words and our thoughts and our actions like did not align. And we were talking about things we had, but then we were counteracting them with our words. And I realized in that moment how much I justified who I was, because I felt like if I didn't justify the success I wanted or what I wanted in life or what my goals were, or I had to justify my ambition, because it's been a really amazing year for our tribe and I'm super grateful for that. But I just felt the need to start justifying why I'm still running, or why, you know, I'm pushing for my tribe to be in the limelight still, and all these things and all the awesomeness. And I don't have to freaking feel guilty about that. And so I did a Facebook Live last night, like, stop apologizing. You don't have to apologize for your ambition, for your dreams, for the greatness that you want to chase after. Like, you do not have to be sorry for that. If you want the house on the lake, go freaking get the house on the lake. If you want to, you know, travel the world in the 7 seas, then go freaking do that. Like, don't apologize for who you are. And that was really, really powerful. And then I just want to say this. I am so appreciative that Carla did sit across from us, because, and I got to share this on the cruise, is that 2 different people spoke verbatim the same sentence prophetically over me, like, I don't even know, 13, 14 years ago.
No, it would have been longer than that, probably.
Maybe longer than that. I ain't no spring chicken, y'all. All right. So, but they spoke like within 2 weeks of each other. These 2 people that did not know each other spoke the same word over me. And I've never heard it spoken over me. And I asked God for 1 tool and 1 word. And we were sitting across from Carla, and she verbatim said the sentence to me. And I was just like,
and what was great is she said it so nonchalant.
Crazy.
It wasn't like Carla was flowing in a prophetic moment.
It wasn't.
She just goes, well, hey.
Yeah, it wasn't any, like, she was just speaking, and it just came out of her. And I just was like, God, I don't have to apologize. And I'm in the right place at the right time. And this is coming full circle. And you know what? Like, I'm running. Like, let's go. I'm ready. So that was my aha.
Amazing. And you're right. When it goes from your head to your heart and it's all in alignment, you are unstoppable. And you know that you know that you know that you know. freaking stoppable. Yes. Jason, is there anything you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, it was the same thing for me. I mean, that night sitting across from Carla, again, Carla, I just want to personally say thanks to you. I mean, you just spoke a moment of clarity into what I do. Crazy enough, I for those of you who don't know, I have a YouTube channel. And that's where I put all of my eggs are in that basket right now. And I come home and I've scheduled these videos way in advance. And I have a video pop up this morning about what we had been talking about that I'd done a while. So it's just kind of hitting me over and over, but really taking time this weekend to think about how things could be. You know, our life has always been determined and directed by what we had going on in terms of employment or desperation or whatever that may be. Our life has always been subjected to that course. And we came home and we realized that we are like able to create the life we want to live, and not to put all of our business out there.
I'll tell them. I don't care. Tell them.
That's why I was feeling it out. If y'all couldn't feel it, I was dipping my toe in the water. In the course of about 72 hours, we've just decided to go ahead and move where we want to live. We don't have the money to buy the house right now, but we're just going to change rental plans. Our lease is coming up. We'll stay with the same company. So, Carla, we are planning on moving over to the Lakewood Ranch area.
We're just going to up and move because we can. And it's been crazy. I said one thing to Jason on the cruise, and he's such a planner and executioner. And I've just, ever since he said it, the last like 40, 72 hours, I've been like, no. It's not what I meant. It's not what I meant. And like, I've just had so many confirmations in the last 24 hours that, you know what? We live well below our means right now, and super grateful. We've obviously I've gone from double diamond to presidential in, less than 10 months, less than 1 year. And so we've had substantial breakthrough. We went debt free, you guys know, blah, blah, blah. But like, we're still living at the level that we're at. And if I want to chase more, you know what? It's okay for me to like spend a little bit more and to level up my living where I feel, not to blow my money, not to not use wisdom. Hear me, y'all know we the debt-free people, all right? Not to like blow but like, you know what? If I've never had the example of success and it being okay, I've never seen that. So that's why I feel the need to justify everything I have. But you know what? If I want more, I need to start seeing more, and I need to be around people that have more, and that's okay. And so we're going to go and like,
and we're going to take the incremental step
towards
the life we want to live. The life we want to live. I just said life. We live in Florida. We can think about that all the time. Towards the life we want to live. And that is the one thing. I'm glad that you said that. We don't just do things to do them. We're not those people that go, you can have anything. Well, no, I can have the extent of what my bank account allows. And just because they'll give me a credit card doesn't mean I ought to get one. That's a word for somebody right there. And so we can cash flow and incremental move towards the life we want to live. So
we're gonna level up, and I hope that it takes my mind to like expand and see a better looking. We rent a house. We're gonna rent a better house and be in a better neighborhood with a better school system, and
eat dinner at Carla's house
twice
a week.
All the time. We're super excited about that.
I know she uses paper plates, but that's all right.
Yeah, we'll be fine with that. But I'm so excited. I'm so excited that, you know what? I don't have to be scared of that. I don't have to be scared to step into what God is calling us to do. And I just feel like He is about to just lay it on us really quick. And I'm just so ready. It's crazy. Crazy.
Oh my goodness. Amazing. And you know what? When you start to open yourself up, God gives you those popcorn and you say yes, even if you don't get it, even if you don't see the full picture, even if it doesn't quite make sense. Those yeses are taking you in a direction that in 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, you're going to be in a completely different place. And guess what? Your entire team will be following you.
Amen.
And Kristi, she's confused because Carla lives in Sarasota, Florida. So they're just moving from one side of Florida to the other. Yeah, not Michigan. Yes. She's like, you're moving to Michigan. Why would you do that?
We moved from Michigan. We are not going back. I can tell you that.
I'm in Michigan. We have snow. Yes.
Yeah, and we pray for you.
I'll be back in Florida in a few weeks. But yes, the example that we gave for preparing for the 30 things or preparing for the Come As You Will Be party was 30 things you want to be, 30 things you want to do, 30 things you want to have, and really picturing your life in 3 to 5 years, your ideal, your dream day. Be so stinking specific about it that you can feel it, taste it, touch it, because when it gets that clear, then you can start putting something on your calendar. Then you can say, okay, what can I do today to take me in the direction of my dreams? But I can tell you, you guys, we don't get that clear vision surrounded by 18 children and screaming in a shopping cart. Like, that doesn't happen in real life. We have to say yes to these adventures to separate us, to separate ourselves from kind of the chaos of life, so we can quiet our mind and we can experience God's whispers. So thank you guys so much for saying yes. Thank you to Carla for being the mastermind behind this experience and all of her wisdom and belief casting she brings to our teams. And just thank you to everybody. So if you are interested in being a part of these types of experiences, I do have one in Grand Rapids in January. Not a Disney cruise, but and then we're going to do another one. So put it on your calendar and put it on your dream board next November, probably the 8th, because we do like being, that was a good weekend. Put it on your calendar and decide, and then reverse engineer how to get there, because that's the best. I mean, really the only way to see real change. So thank you guys again. And I'll put this on YouTube tomorrow morning. So I'll get the link out if you have anybody that you want to hear it. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.